I think the question we all have is why now?
Do you think they're going to have 20 guys leave?
I think the winner of that Texas Tech-Oregon game beats Indiana.
Of all the things that could have happened, this would not have been on my bingo card.
They did not profile like a 10-win team. They profiled like 7-win type teams. I can't wait to let 18 and 22-year-olds coach them. I made a call, to Vegas. I said, look, we actually need the paper here.
Welcome, everybody. Bear Rats Podcast is back. Geoff Schwartz Sammy P will join me as usual. And guys, a little bit of coaching news, I guess, kind of making the way around college football this week and really dominating the landscape in kind of an unfortunate manner.
Yes. I think the question we all have is why now? Why now? Now, obviously, the investigation ended, and that's why they fired Sherrone Moore. But Bear, recruiting signing day was last week, and they played Ohio State just a couple weeks before that. The timing of this seems as part of the story, Sammy, and part of why this is as big as it's gotten.
If you would have told me yesterday that Texas would get blasted in the market from 5.5 to 7, this would have been like the 30th thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? Like, of all the things that could have happened, this would not have been on my bingo card. And as sad as this is to admit, does this come out if Michigan's 11-1?
No.
Like, I honestly don't think it does.
Well, that's the thing. There are rumors and scuttlebutt and such, like people have been insinuating that this has kind of been known and just kind of covered up for a while now. And yeah, you hear reports about Michigan people being unhappy with him and threatening to pull funding if they didn't make a move. So yeah, you never know what you can believe, but unfortunately, Sammy and Geoff, we know how college football works.
We do know how it works. And now the question is what happens not only to the coaching, and we'll talk about that in a second, but what happens to the team. I mean, it's a talented roster. It's a young roster at certain positions. And number one is Bryce Underwood, right? I mean, they paid a lot of money to bring him in. I think he showed a lot of upside last year. He looked like what we expect to see from a young quarterback, right? Where there are extreme highs and there are extreme lows, but that's expected from a true freshman. If there's an open market for his services, a lot of schools are going to call. I know that social media isn't always the best reputation of what's actually in someone's mind, but he did remove like the Michigan header from his Instagram Bear. And I would imagine there are schools around the country calling him right now because when your coach leaves you, your transfer portal window opens immediately. So they don't have to wait till January. And so I'd imagine that the roster around Michigan right now, to your point about why people are betting Texas, there'll be a lot of question marks about who shows up to the bowl game. And if they do show up, are they looking to play somewhere else next year?
Well, and we tape this on the 11th. The game they play, Citrus Bowl, is not till the 31st. Do you think they're going to have 20 guys leave or more?
I can't imagine by that point they will. Right?
Well, it depends who they hire.
Right, and when you make the hire, if you look at Cal Sheehan, the prediction markets right now, Kalen DeBoer is the favorite and Jed Fish is second. Like I
doubt it's Kalen DeBoer.
I doubt about it too.
He's So this would be the second time he's left a playoff team. And he left Washington. Now, they were not a perennial playoff team, but after they played the playoff game against, he left. And now he leave a playoff team again. Can you do that twice in your career, Bear?
You can do anything. I mean, well, you can, but I don't know if that's Alabama, I guess maybe isn't the best fit, but is Michigan. He seems like he's a kind of a West Coast kind of keep me out of the spotlight kind of guy. Seems to be his best chance for success. Like if you look like Jesse Minter is someone who's been brought up, but he's got a show cause through April. Like, I don't know. Can you hire him and wait for April?
Biff?
I don't know.
I would never bet him either at plus 250.
No.
I mean, those are the odds on our graphic right now. Plus 250. If you were making me make a bet, I know we're all going to say, well, that won't happen. If I'm Michigan, I'd go get Jeff Brom. That's what I would do. And he's 12-1. I think that makes a lot of sense.
And he's certainly a great candidate. And we'll see what direction Michigan goes. First and foremost, I mean, the grand scheme of things here, we're talking about this in a betting standpoint prism. Like, we just hope Sherrone Moore and everyone involved in this, his family, everyone is okay, and nothing in the story isn't going to take a turn for the worse.
The CFB playoffs are set. We have 4 games coming up in just about 9-10 days here. And the first one to discuss is a rematch in the SEC between Alabama and Oklahoma here. Bama, a short favorite. This game is in Norman, Oklahoma. Total's only 40.5 between these two teams where, Oklahoma's offense has struggled all year. They won this game early in the season, Bear, with a lot of help from Alabama, turnovers. Bama was the better team in that game. It's not always the reason why a game is won or lost, but very clearly Bama, outperformed. Bama had a 95% win expectancy in a loss to Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's amazing. The last couple of years, Oklahoma's defense has really gotten the better of Alabama. Remember that awful, horrific performance in Norman last year where Jalen Milroe just looked like he'd never thrown a forward pass before. So whatever Brent Venables and that defense has been doing, it's been great. And Oklahoma fans hate me, and the poll question, it was great. I had the poll question Oklahoma fans put up there, like, who's the biggest, I don't know the word they used. I don't know if it was tool or another adjective. They're very descriptive. Me or Joel Klatt, because Joel and I have both been kind of outspoken about Oklahoma and how poor they're. I'm sorry that we've been pointing out that Oklahoma is 93rd in the country in offensive success rate. Like, the offense is terrible. The defense is elite. So would it surprise me if Oklahoma won again? No, it wouldn't, because you're a player. When you got idiots like me and Joel and whomever else out there providing you motivation as to why you can't do something, it's motivating. Can they win? Sure. At the same time, Alabama's been told they should be the odd team out as well. Really interesting to see how this one blows out.
I'm jealous that I'm not in those lists of people that like, I feel like I'm not doing enough, Sammy, where people and fan bases hate me enough. I want to be on these lists. Bear's on a second one, like on a message board that was like,
yes, I'm going to be sued. I should be sued. Ari Wasserman and I are going to be sued by Notre Dame because of what we don't know. But
Fox legal for Bear.
I was going to say
legal. There you go, Bear.
Is this Brad WC attorney or Fox legal? What do we got here?
A couple things. Oklahoma, let's give them their flowers. 6.5. That was the win total this year. And they win 10. That's an incredible season in the eyes of Vegas. When you go over by 3.5 wins, there's something to be said about that. My second point is basically a question for Geoff.
Yes.
Can Alabama run the ball in the game?
No. Why would it change now?
I like Oklahoma then.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know why it would change now. I don't know what about their season and in this game would be any different than we saw in any other game they played this season or against Oklahoma the first time. But again, my concern is like I do have a better offense and quarterback with Alabama, even if Bama doesn't run the ball very well, doesn't do much well. Like, can Oklahoma survive with their offense in this game? I just don't know. Now, at times this year, we've said that about their offense, and they have proven in those big moments to make enough big plays to win. And that if this game is 13-10, and Mateer's got to drive down, they've done that okay enough this year to obviously get to where they're at. Look at the weather right now, because I'm kind of curious about what the weather would be like. Obviously, when we get to the playoff games, the weather does matter. It doesn't matter most of the year, I think, but in this situation, weather for Friday night, it's going to be fine. So I know Oklahoma fans were hoping they would get a bad weather game for Alabama to come from the south here. Let's get to our next game here. Will be another competitive game. Bears, Miami Hurricanes going to A&M here. A&M's favored by 3.5, total 51.5.
That number's moving, man. 5.5 on the open, Bear.
I like Miami a lot in this game, Bear. I'm feeling you like them as well.
Yeah, I think it's an unbelievably competitive game. I think if you look at some of the things that Miami does well in terms of offensive line play and protecting the quarterback, those are some of the strengths that Texas A&M has. A&M does a great job of getting after the quarterback. A&M does a great job of putting opponents in 3rd and long, which is something that Miami needs to try and stay out of. You look on the flip side with A&M, they have a tendency to allow some big plays on the ground, which certainly with the insertion of Pringle and some other guys in the Miami offense, they've certainly been a lot better. Can Miami's defensive backs deal with Craver and Concepcion in the secondary? Really intriguing game. I think Miami is better, though.
Yeah.
I think the line, I don't want to say totally disrespectful, but I'm a little bit surprised when you look at the overall body of work with A&M and you go through it and see what they've done, and you look at South Carolina going there and then you see the Texas game. I like Miami here a lot.
I made the game 26-23 Texas A&M. That's
Okay.
just true number. So lean to Miami. You bet 5.5. I
Yep.
bet some 4.5 when the bracket came
Yeah.
out. But at 51.5, that feels a little high for me on the total side. So I'd lean under too.
So, Bear, you mentioned the A&M explosiveness they allow in defense. It's worth noting that yards per successful play, they're 135th in the country. Like, they allow a lot of yards.
Yeah.
Now, it's either sort of boom or bust, right? So
Right.
they're going to stop you, but the explosive plays are going to be explosive. Obviously, home field advantage. How much would you count that in the number? Like, is that a big part of this number, you think?
Well, on a neutral, I have them basically the same. I do.
Okay.
I have them both at a
Yeah,
91.5. So they have home field 3.5.
Okay, that makes sense, yeah.
At Kyle Field, it makes sense.
It feels like this is going to be a game that's last possession.
And if you're talking about explosiveness, Malachi Tony is one of the more explosive
Correct.
players in the country right now. And I would expect to see Miami give him a lot of looks to try and create.
One of the A&M offensive linemen said Ruben Bain is not very good, which I don't know how much
Yeah,
that
I
matters to this,
wouldn't-
but like,
oh,
I don't know if
oh, it matters.
I don't know.
Oh, it matters.
It matters. It matters a little bit, but when the game starts, I don't know how much it matters in the game. But for preparation, I think
Right.
it does fire up a team a little bit. In that,
He's a good player, by the way. The A&M left tackle. He's a good player.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a great matchup. Like this is gonna be a really I think it's a very fair
That's
matchup.
the strength of
even
their
matchup.
team.
It's
up
gonna be a
front,
lot of fun
offensive line.
to watch these teams play. All right, James Madison goes to Oregon. Oregon, there's numbers on the move, favored by 21.5. Total 50.5. This number was 20.5 when we talked about this, I believe, on Monday. It's moving around a little bit here. I don't know how to preview this game other than Oregon is much better.
Right.
They
There's
play
nothing.
very well in these games under Dan Lanning. They were a favorite. They've covered 5 games this year of, I think, over 3 touchdowns, and the 2 they didn't. They were up 34-0 against Northwestern, and 2 late touchdowns didn't cover that game. Look, the thing about the G5 thing, I'm fine with them being in the playoff, and this is very kind of a selfish thing, but like there's nothing to really preview about these games, guys. Like, I wish come on and be like, JMU does this and this and this, and they win the game this how. I don't know what that would even entail, Bear, in making that happen. So I think Oregon wins and covers, and that's where I sit with this one. I think a team total under, which I'm trying to find right now for JMU, is certainly likely. I've seen some of the advanced stats that put them at it's all 13.5. I've seen like SP is at 19. That's too many points.
That's way that's way too. I like,
Yeah.
and I think again we saw Oregon last year get annihilated in the Rose Bowl. I mean that has to matter a little bit, right? Like in terms of the last impression. I mean, you have an opportunity to go out and hang 50 on this.
I just
team.
think they've been building. If you listen to them, like they've prepared their season to play in this game, right? Like that's the way they've managed their season. Presumably, Gary Bryan Jr. is back. DeCorian Moore probably sees the field. Stop Evan Stewart, Oregon fans. Stop with that. It's not happening. So they get healthy in this game. I know all 3 of us took Oregon very quickly here. We've got to talk about Tulane and Ole Miss here. Ole Miss favored by 17. Look again, like
what do you do? Your Lane's gone, and then Summerall is already at Florida, kind of. What?
He joked about it like two phones, 2 hats, 2 hours.
Like a Harvey Dent split. Half evil, half good.
So I think this is him on social media, right? Where he has the picture of him wearing like a half.
Yes. Yeah.
We saw the game already. It was a
Right.
freaking blowout. It was 45-10. How much is Lane worth? Like that's really what you're trying to quantify. And Bear, it's not an easy equation.
I mean, isn't Lane? But the good thing is that not only did Charlie Weiss Jr. come back, the other assistants, Lane allowed them to go back for the game, which I think was really cool. And it kind of does show a little bit of the genuineness of Lane, like saying, I want to see these guys do well. Yeah, I left you high and dry, but I'm still kind of rooting for you.
It's a little bit of it like walking in the hallways like, hey, man, come to LSU after the game from the coaches.
Maybe.
I mean,
Blow it up from the inside.
yeah, look, I'm
The
glad
call
they're
is
back.
coming from inside the house.
I'm glad they're back, and it's a good. But I think some of that is a little bit of like figuring out which guys want to come with you to LSU.
What reason is there to think that this game's going to be close? Like
nothing.
So-
Which
the
again,
committee screwed up with the seating. They could have easily slotted Ole Miss down,
correct.
moved A&M up. That way we didn't have to watch this crap again.
Correct. They could have made it to where did not have rematches, and they just didn't want to do it. It's one of the many gripes we have with some of the committee decisions. All right, we'll talk some futures now that the 12-team bracket is set. We'll pick some teams we like to win the championship. We'll do that next. All right, guys, we're back. Let's talk the 12 teams in the postseason and their title odds and if any wagers to make. Now, no, Sammy, you like just one overall to win the championship.
I just really wanted to make you upset. So I knew that it was going to be Oregon and Tech. So 10 days ago, I bet the Red Raiders at 11-1. I will say, though, the path has gotten substantially easier because it looked like it was going to be Oregon, Ohio State. Thanks to Signetti Bear.
Yep.
It's now Oregon and Indiana. And Indiana, I know you have some injury updates on the Hoosiers there. It's a much easier path to the title game. And I wouldn't have to see Ohio State until the very end at this point.
Potentially.
You get through Oregon, a lot can happen with 10-1, 11-1 in your pocket.
Yeah, because the Indiana thing, look, Stephen Daly being hurt, their
huge deal.
tackle. He had 19 tackles for loss, 5.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. He led the Big Ten in tackles for loss despite playing behind one of their edge rushers for most of the year. He got hurt. It looks like he got hurt post game. I think he got hurt in the game, and he just sort of looked bad in post game, limping around. But he's out. Like, this is a big deal for them. This is the thing about a team like Indiana at times. The depth is not quite there yet, right? Signetti is building that up over the years. Your starters are very good. Without him, there's other injuries that they have on the defensive line. I don't know if it's quite the same team. Plus, again, they have won a lot of these big moments this season, Bear, against Oregon, against Ohio State, against Indiana, against Penn State. Will that continue in the postseason? So to your point about Texas Tech, if they get through Oregon, they play Indiana team that has sort of won those big moments. My issue with Tech is just the offense in general, right? When they played better teams this year, it just hasn't been as good. Remember, the Utah final score was 34-10. They scored 24 points in the fourth quarter. The BYU games, both of them, red zone issues again. A loss to Arizona State. Like, it's just been the better teams they've played. The offense has not shown up there.
Well, Morton didn't play in that game. I like their defense, though. For me, it's about the Red Raiders.
The defense is incredible.
Yeah, the front is great, and you mentioned Indiana up top. I think the winner of that Texas Tech Oregon game beats Indiana and ultimately gets to the college football championship game.
Let's go, Bear.
Play Miami.
Let's go.
And I think on the bottom side, I think we've seen, I think, some signs from Ohio State that they're not. They were number one for a while, but their offense has not looked great against a lot of the better defenses. That Texas, they were a non-factor early on. I know that was early in Saints' career. The Michigan game, Indiana, they did really nothing. Like, I think this opens it up for you can make a bet on like the winner, Indiana, Ohio State versus the field, or some have it phrased as like seed team to win the title, seed over under 2.5, which is basically the same thing. Yeah. Find your best price. I took the field versus the two teams because, like I said, I don't think Indiana gets there. And whether it's A&M, Georgia, Miami, whomever on the bottom, I think that team has a great chance. And I would think Texas Tech or Oregon in the title game would have a great chance too.
It does feel like it shouldn't be a coin flip. To have the field at -110, -15 just feels like a good deal.
Yeah. The Ohio State defensive line, though, is going to cause problems for anyone they play. And they're going to be in every single game. And can you get enough of the offense in the bigger games? Like, that defense is so good. I mean, they disagree. I mean, Indiana scored 13 points and won. Like, that feels like the path for most teams. Ohio State had two drives that went, they had 150 yards in those two drives and 0 points.
I think if you look at the teams, though, that we're talking about, Texas Tech can win a game 19-14 with that defense. Miami can win a game against them 19-17. Georgia can win a game against them 19-7. Like, it's going to be really good. Again, it all leads to these other derivative type bets of like seed to win, combined total of seeds in the title game. All this stuff is either going to be up or might even be up by the time you listen to this. I think look at last year. What was it? Ohio State was the 8 and Notre Dame was the 7. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, Ohio State shouldn't have been the 8 seed. We know that. All right, we're back for our best bets. Before we do that, though, Super 6 sponsored by DraftKings. Which quarterback will have the most pass yards in the first round? Carson Beck, Chambliss, Ty Simpson, or Reed of A&M?
I'm going to go with Ty Simpson. Alabama, we talked about it. Can't run the ball. He threw for 300 yards the first meeting. That's their path to win.
It all comes full circle. In the summer, I told you all to bet Carson Beck Heisman. Did not win. We get it back on Carson Beck Super 6.
How about Trinidad Chambliss for me?
Okay.
I'm gonna go Ole Miss here. They play the worst of the teams of the group of these guys we're talking about. So I think they're going to pass the ball well. They're going to run the ball well. They're going to play well in this game. I think also, they want to. I would imagine they want to build an offense and sort of have some good vibes going heading into deep in the postseason. If Lane is obviously not as around much because he has another job to do. All right, time for our best bets here. We do have one game this weekend between Army and Navy, and also in a bowl game, by the way, happening as well. I don't think we have a best bet for that one, but I'll start with you, Sammy. You have a best bet for Army Navy.
Yeah, I'm going to take the first quarter under. Now, there's a reason this total is 38 and a half, but the first quarter number is much lower, 7.5. It's been 6.5 last couple of years, so we're protected on 7-0. We win on 3-3, 3-0, 0-0 would be preferred. There's not a lot of talent, not a lot of speed. These teams run the ball. Here's what we need, Bear. We need 4th and 1 at the 10. Go for it. Don't get it. Then the other team's got to go 90. We're going first quarter under.
Well, it could literally be one possession for each team in the first quarter as well. And 17 of the last 19 overall have gone under for the game. The numbers that are still out there, I talked about a couple of bowls earlier in the week that I played. Those numbers have moved like we thought they would. The one that's still out there, Oklahoma team total under 20.5 against Alabama. I don't know how they score 3 touchdowns in the game. They're going to need another non-offensive score to get there.
My best bet, the number has moved, but I think it's going to move even more. So San Diego State +3 against North Texas. It's open 6. I think this closes with them as a favorite, which means I'm absolutely going to lose the bet,
Of course.
as we know, because CLV doesn't matter in some of these games. But very, very simply, right? North Texas, they lost their conference championship game. The loser of conference championship games doesn't do well in bowls. Check. Their coach is leaving. Check. Their quarterback's probably leaving too. Check. San Diego State had a good season, good vibes there. I like them to win this game outright. I think this number just moves. I think there's still value at 3. You'll get a better number today than you will when this game kicks off. And we're like, look, if Oregon do this, it's not coming back to 20.5, right?
No.
We're not getting that anymore. Yeah. So.
Yeah, if you're looking for a reason to bet JMU, I would just hold off and wait until kickoff. So,
Bear, an idea that you had to sort of preview these teams in general as we head into sort of more of the preview section of some of these games here, including the bowl games. Which teams have the best coach quarterback combination, or which teams you trust the most when it comes to playoff teams, coach quarterback?
Yeah, I think it's something that you definitely need to look at. Head coach.
We do in the NFL, by the way. We preview who can win a playoff game by head coach and quarterback all the time.
I mean, I think you kind of have to trust Cignetti and Mendoza.
Absolutely.
Don't you? I mean, the guy's going to be the two-time coach of the year last 2 years. Mendoza's going to win the Heisman. I think you have to trust those guys. They've been tested this year, won a couple of close games, won some games on the road. And I think you can't just write them off as now with a team and a program that is successful because their schedule has been, non-conference schedule has been garbage. The last couple of years they've gone out, they've won big games. They made the playoff now 2 years in a row. Now, does that mean I think they're going to win the title? Probably not, because of the injuries on defense, and I think ultimately
I hope they play this in the Indiana facility.
They have
They're their hate list now too, Bear.
Well, I've just said the quarterback coach combo I trust the most is their coach quarterback.
You didn't win the championship. That's all I heard. That's all I heard. Sammy.
Good motivation. Good.
I heard number 1 combo, but still not good enough.
Perfect.
Basically what I heard.
Well,
I want to come back to this at the end. I think it's harder to name the 12th coach and quarterback than it is to name the first.
that's
If
fair.
we can do that at the
I
end.
mean, wouldn't 12 be just JMU? They have the worst of the 12 quarterbacks, right? I mean, it's not. That's just what they have. And,
Right.
Like that's it. Like
I really like Chesney though, so I
but
for me it's
but
hard.
Resloff is, I think, that much better than JMU's quarterback. That just puts Tulane ahead of them, right?
So I went 3 Morton and McGuire. I'm a big Joey McGuire fan.
Yep.
2 I went Kirby and Gunner, and then
Mhm.
1, believe it or not,
Oregon
Lanning
Ducks.
and Dante Moore.
By that.
I trust them.
Yep. So do
I
I.
don't think they're going to beat Tech, but I trust them.
Wait, so your number 1 pick is not going to win the championship. Your number 1 pick is not going to win a second
winning a
playoff game.
game. Yeah.
Not winning a second playoff game.
Dead.
so much.
Who's yours? Who's yours first?
I mean, I think the way Cignetti is playing and coaching this team right now, it has to be him number 1. We talk a lot about talent, right, on the rosters as we preview games. And we talk about the blue chip ratio, and it's a little bit different now because of the transfer portal. But the fact is, Indiana's team does not fit the mold and model of the last 20 champions, right? It just hasn't happened in this
No.
sport. but they're playing at a level that I think it's hard to deny that they're a favorite for a reason, right? And again, they've won all the big moments this year. They're a team that feels, and I've watched them play, very prepared every game. Nothing about them screams they're not ready for the moment. They have the Heisman winning quarterback. By the way, like, are we certain he's going to win the Heisman?
Yes, I am, but I'm curious. I'm glad you brought that up because I like looking for like some of these like superfecta or like percentage margin of who's going to finish in what position. Like, I think it's going to be closer than people think.
I think so too.
I don't think it's a threat because what we talked about with Pavia getting a lot of the SE,
probably
all of it. Out west, he's going to get some votes. While I think Mendoza now will, because of the throw at the end of the game, will get a large majority of the Big Ten. I think there's still going to be a lot of support in the Midwest for Jeremiah Love.
Okay, East Coast Jeremiah Love, right? I would imagine.
I would think so.
I'm going to guess what you're going to guess. Mendoza,
Mm-hmm.
Pavia,
Mm-hmm.
Love,
Mm-hmm.
then saying.
And what I would love, no pun intended, I would love for a sports book out there to put who will finish 5th. I would love to see that price on
Who would you guess finish 5th?
do I want to give a tell? These sports books are listening, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, you want them to make the market, though, right?
Yeah, I do want them to make the
Doesn't wanna
market,
squeal
but
because
I don't. I want to bet it. But I
I'm
think
not going to guess who's going to finish.
I think you could. I think you could probably get a couple of different. I'm sure Haynes King would be someone that would be very interesting in that,
So
in that
that's not
market.
his guy. He
No.
would just throw that
No.
out
I'm
there.
sure. Who else would be?
I'm trying to think of others now. To not
Throwing us
mention,
off
yeah,
the scent.
those off the scent.
You could go
Ahmad
Hardy.
Ahmad Hardy.
Rodriguez.
Yep. Those are good ones. Let me look at my my CFB stats page as
I
well.
think what's no Dante Moore.
This must be
No,
fair best. Who's winning the Heisman?
Ruben.
Screw that. Who's
Yeah.
finishing 5th?
Exactly. Hey,
Are those markets that do go up though?
sometimes I haven't seen 5th, but if you know you're inviting 4, you know those are the 4.
Correct.
So why not put the 5th? Yeah, Hardy's a good one. That could be.
While Bear figures that out, we're going to move on to talking about some of these bowl games here that feel dead. I mean, we got news today, guys, that the bucked up LA Bowl hosted by Gronk.
Blake Horvath from Navy, someone who I think would get some consideration.
Bear. Blake Horvath is not finishing 5th in the Heisman voting.
I'm just
just playing 2 random quarterbacks that are out there.
What about the UConn quarterback?
you guys are terrible. Sawyer Robertson had a fantastic year.
Oh,
Ruben Bain?
I think I found the guy who he thinks might finish 5th. I think
Okay.
so. Because would the West Coast vote for Maava? Would he be the 5th with the West Coast votes?
Marcel Reed?
That's Maava. That's who it is. The West
That's
Coast
not-
vote is going to Maava. No,
The guy, he's been the name has been mentioned.
So, real quick on this, the athletic straw poll has been very good, and it's gotten
Mhm.
the winner right a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Their order, I'm going to read it. What are you looking at?
looking at it.
I was going to say, he could have like explicit text messages on that
No
computer.
wonder
right now.
why the SAT scores were so high there. You see that?
Mhm.
All right, Mendoza 1,
Mhm.
Pavia 2,
Mhm.
Love 3,
Mhm.
David Bailey 4,
Well, that's not going to happen. That's
and Jacob Rodriguez 5.
Yeah, that's-
Sayan's going to finish 4th.
Neither of those are happening.
Sayan's going to finish 4th.
That's just from the poll, not my poll, their poll.
Sayan's going to finish 4th.
And
I would. Bailey's not going to. That's no.
How do we bet bowl games, guys?
You don't.
Never been tougher,
wait.
man.
You wait and you bet them live.
And the guys that Bear and I know have never been more cautious because you can get the right info and you can lay a team 2 that closes 7. And then all of a sudden, the other team's like,
Well, you told me last night at dinner that you did that and the team lost by 30 once.
yeah, we laid 2. It closed 6.5. The team lost by 22, Bear. You're like, oh, beat a bowl by 4.5 points. It didn't matter. And, Vegas Rick has been a lot more conservative. These guys used to just fire on info, but there are waves of info now.
Right.
Some guys opt out December 15th, and then other guys opt out December 22nd, and the number could come back to where it was.
Also, players will quietly opt out by not playing and still be on the roster. Like you don't even know until the game kicks off that so and so is not playing.
Well,
right?
and
That's part of
then
it
you
too.
also have like one of the games I'll never forget. We had a huge bet on Utah because we found out you were a part of this.
The Northwestern game?
No, this is the bowl game when Olave and Garrett Wilson opted out
the Rose Bowl.
at the very last
Oh,
minute.
Yeah. Yep.
And then we were sweating
Yep.
our nuts off because Smith and Jigba had like
Yep.
400 receiving yards.
Yep.
It's never
Well,
easy
Cam
anymore.
Rising got hurt too. In one of those.
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah. There is a bowl game this weekend, by the way, which is wild to me. There's a bowl game. Boise State,
What?
Washington. I don't understand the purpose of bowl games. There are two of them, right? One was obviously a reward to end the season.
Right.
And two was the practices. Like that's
Yes.
what coaches love. You get
Right.
15 extra practices. How many practices in Washington? How many extra practices in Washington?
4.
Like, so Washington here by 10 this weekend. If you
That number's
absolutely
moved too.
if you absolutely need to have action on this one, the only side is Boise State. Washington has played terrible away from home the entire
Yep.
season. Their coach might be talking to Michigan. The one thing is, the reports are that most everyone's playing in this game as of now. But Washington away from home this year, UCLA was their best game. But the Maryland game, 4-point win, the terrible loss to Michigan, like they lost to Wisconsin. They just haven't played well away from home this year. So that would be the only play if you need a game this weekend. Boise State plus 10, I think.
Rackjack's on the dog.
Is he?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's in.
He's in? Okay.
He's very good. He's on the dog.
At 10. Oh, good. I need to make that bet right now then. Okay, good to know. So
Yeah,
Boise State plus 10 will be included in the card for this weekend. All right, a couple games I've actually been eyeing.
Can I ask you a question though about the people who say like the doom and gloom bowl games are over? Like, I'm not sure I'm there with that. Like, I think as long as these networks
My chair's
exist,
going down.
I was going to say we want to see that.
The other chairs in the room. Those
They're
are put
yelling
together for me.
timber.
Can we stand the rest of the show? I'm gonna have to do that.
Yeah, I want to see you stand. That'd be good. Be the new wave office with the high top and standing there with the computer and
That did
no
not sound
chair.
good.
You know,
No, it's the back. So I'm gonna have to sit up for the rest of the show.
It's gonna go. It's gonna go at some point. Which show will it go? This one, next week, or the final one?
My chair's sitting in another room. No one. I gotta put together.
Maybe we need like a ceremonial chair breaking in the last show in the studio for the year.
We can do that. That's
It's like
next
the
week.
Who. They used to
Next week.
trash all their equipment after the show.
Yeah, just do that.
break the chair.
Okay, the bowl game thing there. Look, I think that the bowl games as we know it, the importance of them are not there anymore. Correct. Like,
Right.
Obviously. I think for the players that are still playing in them, it does matter. To the players that are still playing, to the coaching staff still coaching. But obviously, well, with all the coaching movement and the valuation of playoff or bust, and the teams opting out of it, it clearly is not the same importance. But I think the teams playing in these games, right? Like again, Washington and Boise State, it's going to matter to Boise State and Washington. It's going to matter to Troy and Jacksonville State playing on Tuesday. It's going to matter to ODU and South Florida. It might not matter as much to us, public watching it. I mean, look, bowl games, I used to love them, dude. We go a week early to wherever we went. San Diego, Vegas, El Paso was my favorite, by the way. You go a week early and you just have fun with your teammates for a week. You have an activity every night to do. You go out potentially for 21, and you just enjoy the camaraderie for the week. You get free gifts, which is funny because you realize now as an adult, like they're not very good quality. But when you're a college kid, you're like, sweet, I get a free toiletry kit, I get a free watch, I get
I get a free Xbox.
I get a free Xbox, or I get the Belt gift card. Which funny enough, like there was that player that was stealing, like remember one of the teams that was stealing from Belk while getting a free Belt gift card. So you did all these things, like you had a talent shows. You had you know bowling, like you did all these team camaraderie things, and so that was the fun of the bowl. It was your last final game. Teams don't go for a week anymore. Like it's just a different type of vibe, and so they're still there. They're not going away because they still make money. The highest rated stuff of the entire week next week is going to be college football bowl games.
Bingo. That's the thing. Like ESPN puts on these games. There's a reason they're putting these games on because people are going to watch. They can sell the ad time, and they are going to make money off these games, regardless of seeing 8,000 people in the stands or whatever, or us saying how we don't need these games. I think they're going to continue, and I think ultimately as we head towards whatever the next generation of the college football playoff, and if there's going to be a break between Power 4, Group of 5, like these upper tier bowls, I think, may like the upper tier bowls that are not part of the CFP. I think you could see a situation where maybe you get teams that don't make the CFP against some of the better group of five, like the Citrus Bowl could be, like, for example, this year, USC versus Memphis, something like that.
I mean, USC did play Tulane a few years ago in the Cotton Bowl, right?
Yeah.
That was
And USC completely blew the game.
They did. Also, like the schedule. So for me, when I was a child, I remember the Holiday Bowl was like the start of official bowl season.
Great, because it was a Big 12 game against Texas, Oregon. There were some great games.
And now it's not till January 2nd. It used to be like December 27th, and like that felt like the first time when like real bowl season started.
I couldn't even tell you who's playing in the Holiday Bowl.
It's Arizona SMU. It's a good game.
Yeah, actually, that is a good game.
Yeah, like because that game typically has always been good. It's always been like, again, Pac-12 3 is the worst, and Big 12 2 or 3, or Big 10, and now obviously it's ACC.
I remember Andrew Walter and Arizona State had a great game against K-State one year.
It's been a really
awesome game,
a really good bowl game, and obviously, look, I think there's still some bowls. Like the Alamo Bowl's been good every year.
Arizona, by the way, very close to like 11-1 this year.
Yeah,
blew the BYU game.
Everyone thought Brennan was going to be fired.
Hell of a year for them.
He's been and look, I mean, BYU Georgia Tech's not bad in the Pop-Tarts Bowl, which is the one that obviously the Irish backed out of. So there are some matchups here that are worth talking about.
And the other thing that you mentioned, the Pop-Tarts Bowl, was Miami happy about going to the Pop-Tarts Bowl last year? No, they wanted to be in the playoff. But what did they do? They used that game as an opportunity to assess their roster for 2025. They gave Cam Ward. Cam Ward wanted to play a half. He did, solidified his position, his number 1 draft pick. And then in the second half, we're like, okay, we need to know if Emory Williams can play quarterback for us to get us to the playoff. And they were like, no, he can't. And that's when they realized they need to go out and get a quarterback. Ultimately turned out to be Carson Beck. And they were able to assess what you have and you need in this new era of NIL on the portal.
So I want to back you up on this because I think it's a very good point here. We have seen many times where what you have said, I think, has paid off. Oregon went to the Holiday Bowl with Bo Nix and played their asses off. And look, everyone played in that game. The next year, everyone played against Liberty, right? Like in the Fiesta Bowl. Like everyone, and like to me, Georgia beat the shit out of Florida State in that game.
Alabama against Kansas State a couple of years ago.
I think that shows the culture of your program.
Yes.
That when you don't make what you want to make, you decide to suck it up. Now, for the Irish, I think if they were allowed to choose 48 hours later, they would have said, we're going to the bowl game. But it was like, it was immediately. They had to immediately choose, and they're like, F you guys, we're out. I think that they would take that back now, not because of the backlash, but because of getting to play one more game. I think I mentioned about bowl games. So, sorry to cut you. I just want to back up Bear. I think it's a culture thing. If your team shows up and plays well, even though the end result of their season wasn't what they wanted.
It is funny how the fallout from the Notre Dame decision has been perceived, right? All the Notre Dame people are like, we're not going to the bowl game. And then everybody else is like, cowards, like it's very funny how that has come out.
Have you seen the report that it seems like they pissed off people so much that their conferences are debating whether or not to schedule games with them?
Yeah, a little bit of a backfiring there. And I love, we're going to cost ESPN, ABC, and Disney $50 million.
People's watching
Disney will make that back in 10 minutes at a gift kiosk on a Zootopia keychain or something.
Yeah, and the Notre Dame game probably wouldn't have been close, whoever they played, so people would just turn it off.
Well,
so the eyeballs wouldn't be there.
It would have been BYU, I think.
That game would not have been close. Anyways, are bowl games dead? No. Are there too many? Yes. But here's how I know that bowl games will always thrive, because next Friday morning at 11 a.m., the Myrtle Beach Bowl kicks off between Kennesaw State and Western Michigan. Ooh. We're all going to get texts.
When is it?
At 10:45 in the morning. Psst.
Stop playing for
who do you, or just as simple as, who do you like in the Myrtle Beach Bowl? That's why bowls are not dead.
That used to be the Bahamas Bowl, right? I think it moved to Myrtle Beach. Yeah, 11 a.m. I could be there. I could be there by wake up at decent time and be there by.
You should go.
Go pick through the garbage. Get us.
You should go.
We got a place in Myrtle, like in North Myrtle.
Go.
You are right though, Bear. We're gonna get that phone call.
Oh yeah,
Kennesaw State quarterback's out.
Oh yeah. I'm curious how far away. It says my wife wanted to go to the beach this weekend. I wonder how far away the Myrtle Beach Bowl is from our place. That'd be pretty funny. If I was like, let's go to the beach this weekend and watch the Myrtle Beach Bowl. All right, look, Go ahead.
I was gonna say the best part. Well, not the best.
Where's this?
For me, the best part about next weekend is going to be leaving for vacation on Friday on a cruise and having to pray and hope that the in-house television feed on the cruise has like ESPN International where I can watch these games on Friday and Saturday. It could be a bad situation.
You chose the trip. I guess
I am going to allow for a bit of cockiness here. At the time when we booked this, I anticipated that Miami would win the ACC based on how well they were playing at the time. And I figured they would not be playing this weekend. So I was like, 19th to 28, it kind of works in the schedule. So, yeah.
I love that so much.
Shame on me.
I already sent my wife the schedule of like, look, January 9th, I might be in Atlanta for the Peach Bowls. I understand the planning out of all those things. All right.
How was your hotel check-in last night, by the way?
I eventually got in. Here's my thing about the hotel check-in, okay, is that it feels like there's one of two things. You either get there early and you have a room, or you get there and there's no room, and then it takes an abnormally long time to get your room. Like, my thing is, like, if I get there 1 o'clock, Bear, and they tell me I don't have a room, great, okay, fine. I went to lunch, I came back. Are there really no rooms till 5 o'clock? Like,
no.
Not a single person got one room. I even asked, at 4 o'clock, I said, did anyone get a room? Like, has there been no rooms available at all? They're like, no. And I saw them hand 2 cards to someone next to me, and they went up into their room. I'm like, I don't understand. I had a basic room. I understand if you have the presidential suite and someone was there till 11, they had to clean the whole thing out. But like, I just don't. I don't understand this.
We walked out of you walked out of your room at what, 8 this morning? Yeah. I walked out of mine at 9:45.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was just frustrated yesterday. I wasn't in a good mood with that. I understand, like, they're working hard to get us a room, but like, not one room is available between 1 and 5. You're telling me?
I get it's New York City in the wintertime, but no. Liars.
And then he picks dinner last night and selects the loudest Mexican restaurant.
It was so loud.
It
was so loud.
Did we get off my lawn guy? Lower the music?
No.
I mean, I can't even hear in one ear, and it was loud.
It was very loud. But we had a good night, and it was fun as usual. Next Tuesday night, we're different night next week.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Tuesday night.
I did something yesterday that I've never done before.
Sammy, next Tuesday night, we can go to dinner and watch Troy Jacksonville State.
Nope, pass.
The conference title game losers.
Yeah. Did you have pizza last night?
The Troy team that played JMU so tight.
Did you have pizza last night?
I did.
Was it good?
I had the cab drop me off right in front of around the corner from the hotel. I saw $1.50 slice.
Yes.
Perfect. Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I destroyed some pizza at like 10 o'clock last night. It was great. I was so hungry.
Good for you.
I did something else yesterday I've never done before.
Yeah.
I lost my license. Yeah. It happened somewhere either in the Vegas airport after security or on the plane, fell out of my pocket. So I went to check into the hotel and I'm like, oh shit. Like, no, and looked, not in the front patch.
So how did they let you check in?
I had my Fox ID. You guys just have something with your name and photo. I'm like, yes, I have my Fox ID, which was good.
Oh.
So I was able to.
I mean, ordering a replacement's not bad, but now when you travel, you have to bring your.
Well, that's the thing now. I have to fill out some forms to register for the cruise, and I'm hoping my driver's license number is not one of them. I've got my passport and everything. That's fine, but just the last thing I want to do on Friday is.
Well, you could probably call the DMV and get your number.
Yeah, I can get a new one. I can get a new one. It's just a pain.
My wife has memorized her ID number, and she tells me all the time I need to do that. I don't know why I would ever have to memorize it. I guess it's the only reason why.
But yeah, never have lost my license before, and then I'm like, nah.
Someone's gonna sign up in the contest.
I was gonna say someone in the Vegas airport's gonna be imitating and thinking that they're me. That's okay. And they have my home address now. Oh no. A lot of people have one. If you have the football writers book, you can get one.
all the bears in the region too have your addresses. They show up at your house all the time.
I know, exactly.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah.
All right. Any bowl games we like? Any single ones? Any of these? We have the Bucked Up LA Bowl, the Salute to Veterans Bowl. We have the Staff DNA Cure Bowl. My favorite thing, by the way, about these bowls is when the CEO gets on middle first quarter for that message.
Oh, yeah. Hi, I'm John Brown of Staff DNA.
Yeah. 68 Ventures Bowl. We should play a game here next week and try to guess what these companies do that we don't know. That I'm curious what these are.
I love, like you mentioned the swag. I used to love if it was like Sports Business Daily or they used to compile the list of like all the gifts of all the swag bags and the
they don't do that anymore.
I hope so. Someone please do that. Maybe Vic, get on that. Our digital letter. That can be a new something for foxsports.com.
I made 3 bets, and I sent you guys the bets. It was Oregon, and again, these prices have moved a little bit. Oregon 21, Old Dominion +6, which has moved to 3. Did you see that this morning? Down to 3. And then
And who are they playing?
they are playing South Florida.
Oh yeah, because Byron Brown opted out.
Right. So that could be an outright
Right.
situation. And then Vegas Rick is hot on Louisville. Toledo just lost a lot, including the head coach. So when the MAC team has to go play the Power 5 team or Power 4 team, I guess.
Has that moved?
It's 9.5 now, and it might get to 10. Wink, wink.
I would think so. And
So Louisville, okay.
well, yeah, no Chris Bell. I mean, Louisville's been decimated with injuries since they beat Miami. But I would still think Brown would be able to field a team in a good season.
Unless he's going to Michigan.
I don't.
That's what Sammy said.
I would
Well, that's what-
hire
yeah,
him, but I don't think that's going to happen.
that's what
A lot of Toledo Bear will be at UConn, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Yes.
I found
I
a
can't believe they hired him.
I found a list, by the way, from 2019 for a gift suite, Bear. A Frisco Bowl gift suite included a college football 150th anniversary coin and a lapel pin.
Was it CFB 150 was 2019. Wow.
That's what it says. That's what it says here.
That feels like, doesn't feel that long ago.
Some of this stuff is like, when I was in college, I thought this was like the coolest thing, man. Get free stuff. Like, this was so much fun. I like San Diego State. I like Utah, but Utah's now, I think I told you guys Monday was at 14. It's now 15.5. I just think Utah is going to dominate Nebraska. Like, what's Nebraska playing for in this game? Their quarterback might leave. Their offensive line coach got fired.
Oh, the quarterback's gone. Rayl's
There's,
gone.
there's like, it just seems like a bad
It's like
situation.
he's not
now.
playing anyway.
Now, the thing about Utah, though, is I don't know if their tackles are going to play, obviously, with their draft capability. Plus, it could be Kyle Whittingham's final game, and so that's something that I will tell you, though, Bear. People expected Kyle Whittingham to already announce this, and people are speculating the new infusion of money from
Might hang around
might
one
hang
last
around
run.
one more year. I mean, this is a lot of money, and do you hang around if you can build that team the way you want? It's worth thinking about.
Do we anticipate any issues? And again, I am not a smart individual when it comes to business and finances and all of that stuff. Like at this level, like being a public university with private equity, like is there some type of issue going to be now? Like is this going to have to be like voted on? Or I don't know anything about this. Like, I'm just saying, is there like an issue, something that could ultimately hold this back? That
I don't know. I think Utah thinks. I mean, they obviously announced it for a reason. They think it's going to go through.
like I said, I don't know.
I think a lot of it had to do. They've been working on this for like a year now, but I think the BYU like noise last week with Satake, like we have all this money,
opened some
everyone.
eyes, yeah.
Like I would imagine Utah was like, we have to do this and Texas Tech in their own conference with what their boosters doing. I'd imagine that had to play a role in here. Any final words for the?
We talked about on Monday, like the games that I like, the New Mexico plus the 3 is moved now down to 2.5, like we thought it would. Probably going to go lower. NC State mostly is 6 now, up from 5.5. So I'm not adding anything in terms of games. If you do, the one number that I do always like to update in terms of underdogs and bowl season. If you go back and you look last year, the non-college football playoff bowls, dogs won 15 of the 35, and
Outright.
Ooh. Out 20 and 15 against the number. 15 of the 20 that covered won the game outright. And it's basically like, if you go back since 2008, if you're a single-digit underdog that covers 77% of the single-digit dogs that cover win outright. So it basically tells you if you're taking a dog, play him against the number, and then play a half a unit or 3/4 of a unit, whatever you want to do on the money line as well. Because more often than not, if the dog is covering, they're winning outright.
Any last words?
Are you making bets?
Yeah, I just took Louisville. The Hawaii Cal game got steamed a little bit too. It was 3. It's down to 1.5. I don't know
Why?
Cal Hawaii. Maybe they think Cal has opt outs. I don't know. Jay, I mean,
Why would Cal have opt outs with with Tosh being named head coach, they're all going to play.
And
JKS going home, he's not opting out.
No, I don't know. It just moved a little bit. I just noticed that. All right.
Hawaii stinks.
Any last words for bowl games before we move it along here?
No. No.
Okay, no.
No.
Best bets next. Now that the season's over, guys, just a quick recap on some of our favorite bets, good, bad, and different. We won't talk about Mercer, but Bear, any...
and yet we still did.
That was really nice of you.
I mean, look, I had Penn State and Clemson to make the playoffs, so that didn't go very well.
Oh, no, the Penn State, the bet without the most safest, most confident bet of Penn State to make the playoff.
I can't believe it.
It was like
worse than what you should be 10-2.
Right, because you look at that schedule and you're like, okay, you're going to lose to Oregon or Indiana. You're not going to lose both, and you lose at Ohio State. You're 10-2. You're in the playoff. I would make the bet. I would lay 270 again, but did not go well for me. Fortunately, we had a good enough season where we were able to negate a lot of the negative of that with some of the other positives.
Speak for yourself, Bear, because I didn't. Let's see. Big miss for me, Toledo. Over 8.5. Lost 2 games by a combined 4 points as a double-digit favorite in both games. They win 8.
Jason Candle lost games double-digit favorite. I can't imagine that happening.
They did everything they were supposed to do, and then they lost as a 10-point favorite and a 14-point favorite. So that's a huge whiff for me. I also had Beck Heisman before the year. That did not hit. Added some Simpson. That did not hit.
But the Beck bet was he was the favorite. He was the Heisman favorite or co-favorite right there.
I should have sold it.
They offered
me, I had 1,000 to win 38, and they offered me 9,000, I think. And I just no thanks.
Who would it's easy to say now, Brad.
Yeah.
But it's at the time they were playing great. You looked like they were going to go undefeated, and it was a good bet.
Thank you. Hits from me. Miami to make the playoff, 2-1. That was nice. Illinois under. We got there somehow. Under 8.5.
Yep.
And one of the first bets we talked about on Bear Bets, the Texas under 9.5.
Yep. Yeah, I like all of you mentioned the Miami CFP. We had it at the start of the year. Amazing to think of the prices we got in the week leading up to the college football playoff.
I took the 430.
I was going to say to add on to that, that was a massive score.
I was sweating 2-1 all year, and you just pieced a 4-1 in my face.
It was just a. And here we're like pace get.
It's very funny. They're like I sweat that thing for 3.5 months, and he came in at the very end. They got a better number.
Only because Bear was like, "Hey, fourth." I'm like, "Oh, that sounds like a good way."
I
would not have made it if Bear didn't mention it on the show.
And it's all part of understanding how the playoff system was going to work. But it was great. Oregon over 10.5. There were a lot of people who were Oregon under.
Well, Iowa quarterback's better.
Plus, yeah, exactly. Oregon over plus money was great, and then being on Clemson Island by myself, and Bill Connolly, I think, was another one, being anti-Clemson and getting an unbelievable under 9.5.
Barely won.
Barely won. Plus money was fantastic. I very, very proud of that. So the Miami CFP, Oregon over, Clemson under, and Illinois college football playoff team under as well.
My favorite 2 win totals were Georgia Tech over and Colorado under. And I think Colorado under is going to be a favorite of mine for a couple of years now, unless we'll see how that goes. I don't know what they're going to lay at next year, but they won 3 games, right? Maybe 4?
Yes, 3.
Yeah. Or 6.5. Yeah. Tech easily went over. So not a bad year for those. The playoff stuff was bad. My playoff parlays all had Penn State.
Yeah, it would have been. And we hopped on. Well, I should say we. I know I did. Utah to make the playoff early on.
I did small nibbles on Utah make the playoff, Nebraska make the playoff. I mean, those weren't as big as my Penn State wagers.
As soon as, oh my God, Utah just crushed UCLA. Oh, they're off. They're gonna. Yeah, it did not work out well.
No, but they were. I mean, the Texas Tech game was 3 points in the fourth quarter. They weren't that far away from making the playoff. My Nebraska,
no, they really weren't.
My Nebraska one was just dumb. I don't know why I did that, but it was a small wager, so I can live with that. Especially in Miami, the 4.5 to 1, make the playoff.
And you wouldn't even buy me Krispy Kreme last night.
I would not do that.
That's all we got for now. We'll be back, obviously, couple more episodes throughout the month to preview the college football playoff bowls a little bit more, and any other bowl games and news and things that we get in our back pocket. For Geoff, for Sammy, remember, let's be back. We'll lose.